Come in.
Program complete. Enter when ready.
So, will the real Captain Kirk please stand up? Will the real Captain Kirk sit down in your captain's chair? And I think that most fans would agree or at least appreciate my logica, that Spock would, that Captain Kirk is William Shatner. He was William Shatner, he is William Shatner, and he'll always be William Shatner. Now bear with me. Here's my pitch. As a Star Trek writer, first and foremost as a fan, of course. Let me get that out of the way. I was first a fan, and then I wrote for Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, pitched to Voyager, wrote a lot of pitches and scripts for Voyager, didn't sell them, but bottom line is that I can put both caps on, fan and Star Trek writer. But when I look at Captain Kirk, or when I think Captain Kirk or what he's brought up, it's William Shatner. Now, the other day, my buddy Brandon and I, we had a little friendly debate, just a conversation really about Captain Kirk, or specifically Paul Wesley, which is the new Captain Kirk. Right? First, it was Chris Pine in the Abrams movies. Now we know, the other day I did a video on it, that's it. The Kelvin universe, the Kelvin timeline, the JJ Abrams movies are gone, or they'll never make another one. Well, pretty much at this juncture, there won't be any more. So Chris Pine has hung up his phaser and communicator, right? He's not going to be it anymore. So now we've got Paul Wesley, an actor I like. I first saw Paul in Smallville. I'm doing a Smallville rewatch, one of my favorite shows, and he plays Lex Luthor's sort of bastard half-brother, or, from a previous affair with Lionel, the great John Glover, who plays the dad. Really good performance, great character he created for Smallville as one of the Luthors. And so I really admired him. As Captain Kirk, I just, he kind of squeaks by. He's not terrible. But my basic premise and thrust of this video is that it's impossible to recreate or reimagine certain characters. And I'll give a couple quick examples. I love Lucy Ricardo, played by Lucille Ball. Ralph Cramden by Jackie Gleason. Three's Company, John Ritter, Suzanne Summers. It's funny, with Chrissy Snow on Three's Company, when she was fired and she had negotiation problems, they didn't recast Chrissy Snow, Suzanne Summers. They knew that she's an original. Okay, we could keep going. Seinfeld, Jerry, Kramer, George and Elaine, and Friends. We could keep going. Just keep on going. That there are characters, there are shows which you can recreate. You can reboot, reimagine, rebirth. But when you do it at your peril. I really think that it's something where the old fans, though, of course, they're going to start dying off, and maybe not caring about the new Trek anymore, the PP Trek, new Trek. But these new fans can see William Shatner in 79 episodes, live action, I think 22, 23 animated, we'll hear his voice and he's Kirk, and 7 feature films. 2 generations. Undiscovered Country was the last official, and then he reprised the role as Kirk with opposite Patrick Stewart in Star Trek Generations. So for me, and I think many fans, we look at this character as being so married, so wed, so created by William Shatner. It's very hard to impossible to why should you recreate that character? And of course, you guys can argue, oh, well, I liked the Abrams movies, fine. I enjoyed the first one, the other two, First one was pretty good. And I thought Pine was actually good in it. What I'm saying is that it is at your peril as a producer, as a studio, as a production company to recreate these characters. You'd never do it with Lucille Ball, with Lucy Ricardo. You'd never do it with Honeymooners. You'd never do it with I don't have to rehash. You would never do it. Now you say, well, that's comedy. It's different. I suppose, sure, that's true. But we can name a host of other shows, a host of other movies and that you would never recreate. They always say a Gone with the Wind, even though I know they did that. Scarlet was a miniseries with, and so, there's that. Okay, it did okay. But the bottom line is when you bring back these characters that are so invested in fan and generations, it's almost impossible. Now, superheroes, comic books are different because they come from comic books, just like every character that comes from a novel, from another source. So no one actor created that explicitly and just, expressly and just focused. That's not a character, an actor creation. William Shatner as Captain Kirk, you could argue that Gene Roddenberry, Gene Coon, all the writers of original Star Trek into the films, they created it, but William Shatner fleshed it out and co-created it. And it is I think a specific and very unique creation. Just as Spock, or we could go through them once again. So I think that though it's interesting to see new incarnations, new Trek, PP Trek movies, what have you, it is very, very hard to impossible for people to embrace certain characters again. And just as the original and unique and one in a billion I Love Lucy, Lucille Ball and Lucy Ricardo is, and Ralph Cramden and Jackie Gleason, I put William Shatner right up there. William Shatner as Captain Kirk. What do you think? Give us your thoughts. Give us your feedback. Maybe I'm just too involved or too loving William Shatner's performance in one way, but I gave a host of examples why many, many shows and characters will never be recreated. William Shatner's Captain Kirk is one of them, I feel. So what do you think? Hope you enjoyed. Hope you're subscribing. See you soon.